Anyway, guys, it's game 3. Of course, there's $150 on the line. There will be, just like every single best of 3. Man, Puma, 5-0 right now. Means that he's already...
well, man, cashing them checks.
$750 in the online season. Not bad, Puma. Wow, NightEnD Spine was delayed, Ben. Did you see that?
I missed it. I did not see that.
Look at the probe. You can just see at the probe production.
Oh, wow, you're right. That's a... it's a pretty... I mean, it's enough of a difference to matter. Like if there was, for example, some stalker pressure early on, that could really affect the amount of units that NightEnd's able to have.
Oh, HwangSin is going to steal both simulators, Ben. How often have we seen, or like actually we've never seen that, but how often have we spoke about this? And now I'm so curious to see NightEnd, how are you going to react to that? Some people like to proxy against this, pulling probes. I'm not sure if that's the way to deal, because I feel he's going to lose so much mining time right now. I feel NightEnd loses way more mining time with this than HwangSin does for the investment, which basically means that HwangSin is doing a good job.
Well, HwangSin did cut some probes, Kev. It's 13 to 15, so NightEnd can't afford a little bit of this. Essentially, he's only, well, now as HwangSin closes that gap. This is very interesting. I feel like HwangSin talked about this at the NASL final last season and tried it, and it didn't work out very well on this same map, too. But I'm having a really hard time recollecting exactly how the games went.
I don't think he did it at the finals. I do remember a lot of people talking about this. Yeah, HwangSin delayed his own gate on purpose for quite a while. Figured he didn't really need it. Of course he's going to get a better economy. I wouldn't be surprised if he follows this up with a 4-gate, because of course NightEnd, his gas economy is going to be a lot later. And normally, yeah, gas is the way that you stop 4-gating, with Stalker sniping a probe or force fields holding your ramp. Very interesting scenario developing over here, man.
Yeah, so NightEnd just now able to take his gas. His warp gate's going to be significantly, well, maybe it's not that, it won't be that significant as the cyber core for HwangSin.
Yeah, but NightEnd still has to start mining gas. It's significant.
Significant?
Significant.
What did you say? Significant?
Yeah. I said significant.
Anyway, warp gate does go ahead and start up here for HwangSin, and he is going to be, we'll see exactly how far ahead. I feel like he's going to be a good 30-45 seconds ahead of NightEnd. Yeah. Maybe even more than that.
But I do feel that this is, okay, like this is pretty cool, HwangSin, but are you going to follow this up with anything that NightEnd really needs gas for? Or are you just going to let this go into a normal game, and then you can say, okay, yeah, you are the one who's going to have a much more mobile army, because he's going to have stalkers a lot quicker than NightEnd, so he will be able to be active on the map. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be the case. So
whoa, zealots hacking away at that poor little probe. He just got punched by 3 billy clubs.
NightEnd, no. HwangSin is going to get that robo right now, so it's going to be a 1-gate robo, something that, yeah. I mean, he doesn't really have to play the way that he does, and he might actually be hoping that NightEnd goes for an expand on his own, and then HwangSin will maybe try to push. Man,
I'm really not convinced that this was worth it for HwangSin. Like, he's behind in probes.
NightEnd's going 4-gate Twilight console, man. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say he's behind in probes, and it's not like he's got a huge tech lead. Like, it just doesn't feel that weird. Like, that's a big investment to throw down 2 assimilators. He cut probes. I mean, what do you think? What are you seeing?
I think it's pretty even, actually. I think it's really quite even. It did allow him, or basically it forces NightEnd to be much more afraid in this phase of the game. That's why NightEnd doesn't really dare to leave his base, because if he gets 4-gated right now, he's going to hate his life. And look at this, HwangSin is getting a robotic space. So I kind of was feeling the fact that he might be trying to go for 1-base Colossus play. NightEnd, however, is going for 4-gate Blink Stalker. That should be okay for NightEnd. Then again, he doesn't have a robotics facility, so it's not as good. If he would have gone 3-gate Blink Robo, this is so good for NightEnd, and if he plays it well, then he should be able to win. And now it's going to be a little bit harder, because without high ground vision, it can be really hard to pick off units. And we have a small pause. No biggie. Just shows that the game is live, Ben.
Yes, indeed. NightEnd saying he just needs a sec, and nope, now sec's already over, and we're right back to the action. So that was quick. Maybe NightEnd had to scratch his nose. Maybe had to pick a booger.
Yeah. So it has to be something like that. So HwangSin, what's going to be? It has to be Colossus, right? He's getting an observer right now.
Yeah, I don't really see him getting like immortal speed or anything like that. That
would be very silly if to do it so blind. He's getting a third gate right now. I mean, this is not bad for either side. HwangSin should be easily able to hold his ramp, and I feel the moment that he faces 4-gate blink without a robo, he should just stay in his base, play it safe, and then expand. Because if he knows that NightEnD is on 4 warp gates, then there's no need for him to leave his base and try to win one base against one base, because it's completely fine for him. And the moment the armies get bigger and bigger, it's much better to have Colossus against gateway units only.
Oh man, this observer of HwangSin barely misses the warp-in pylon. I don't know that it matters that much because he's not in a position where he can go down his ramp and kill it.
NightEnD might actually just blink up the ramp, but oh no, good force field. NightEnD really, I mean, HwangSin really needs the second Immortal, and that's what he's getting right now. I would love 1 or 2 additional gateway units as well, just to be safe, HwangSin. If he blinks up your ramp, you could really use them.
Is that enough of a force field? Okay, yes it is. No vision granted by just walking up the ramp a little bit. Now neither player has really lost anything yet. It's just HwangSin being forced to use these force fields.
Now HwangSin is getting a Twilight Console on his own, while NightEnD goes for the hidden expand on the left top side of this map. Interesting.
That is interesting. Ninja expand.
Do you think that HwangSin might actually be going for TTs? Do you think something as crazy as that is possible?
That is entirely possible. By NightEnD trying to bust this ramp, it's obvious. Yes, it is DTs. HwangSin knows that if it were a matter of just having high ground vision, that NightEnD would be blinking with an observer.
Yep. Or he would just be able to see an observer, see something fuzzy on the map. So NightEnD, you're really gonna need detection real soon. The the Darkshrine is right now 30 seconds in. NightEnD is starting to research charge.
But NightEnD could just blink forward onto the ramp, and that would give him the vision he needs.
Yeah, but he doesn't. No, he can't fight this, man. He can't fight this. There's no way. There's absolutely no way he can ever win this fight against 3 Immortals and all the Zealots. NightEnD needs to get detection, man, or this game is over. War Prism is on his way to the other side of the map, so that also means that HwangSin will be able to get DTs right into the main base of NightEnD.
HwangSin's got so little gas, though.
That doesn't matter, man. Detection is all that matters right now.
You're actually completely right. There's no forge, there's no robo, and there's no hope of keeping this main base alive. Unless for some reason, well, HwangSin's going to come down his ramp right now.
It doesn't matter, like, NightEnD can't kill that army. The Darkshrine is almost ready right now, 10 seconds from being completed. NightEnD, who's currently 1-2 in the season. HwangSin is 1-2 in this season as well. But I think after this little harassment, after this War Prism is done warping in Dark Templars, I think HwangSin will be the one with the 2-2 record.
HwangSin so confident he's going to even drop that Nexus. Zealot's going to get up into the main base. And that's just the beginning of the harass that's coming. DT is going to start hacking away, and NightEnD has to know that he's in.
NightEnD right now knows that this is game over. There's absolutely no way that NightEnD can ever win this.
Just drops the GG.
Sloppy play by NightEnD, but excellent decision making by HwangSin, winning this PvP series 2-1 against NightEnD.
Great read, realizing there was no detection in place.
Yep.
So it's still a little bit of a gamble because you never know if you're walking into a cannon.
No, not just that. I mean, it is a little bit of a gamble because if you invest into the Darkshrine and right in that moment that your DTs arrive, he does have the robotics facility, then suddenly you're kind of stuck on one base. You have this Dark Templar attack that you can't really use anymore, and then he still has a scary army, but if NightEnD would have had charge, which he had, then he could just swarm those Immortals and the Zealots. He would have had the expand, the big account. Then NightEnD would have been fine. So if he had a robo, he would have been fine. But HwangSin, as you said, he spotted the fact, well, if all he wants is high ground vision and he doesn't have it, maybe I should go DTs. That's what he did. He didn't hesitate either. Like the moment this started, he dropped the Twilight console immediately. Never used the robotics bay. Talking about a way to adapt.
Yeah, he played it brilliantly. That game was brought to you guys by iBuyPower PCs. You can check them out at iBuyPower.com. Pick up your own high-performance PC, just like the ones we use here at the North American Star League.